Welcome back to another edition of our podcast. We're off last week, and so we're back this week again with a new edition. So for the next 4 weeks, we'll be having a conversation on faith, a journey for all, and we'll be reviewing the book of President Jimmy Carter. He is the 39th president of the United States of America. So he wrote a book about faith, a journey for all. So for our first part for today, we'll be talking about what is the meaning of faith. So 3 years ago, I had the privilege of spending my summer with President Jimmy Carter in his hometown in Atlanta, Plains, Atlanta, because I was interning at his the Presidential Library, or at his organization foundation, the Jimmy Carter Carter Foundation. And so I learned a lot from him. He shared a lot with me and other interns that were interning at that particular period, and we had the time. We spent a couple of weekends with him, I think 2 weekends with him at his farm, and he also spent some time with us at the center. So he shared a lot about how his faith ignited his work, and his journey, even as a president, as a politician, and also as a groundnut farmer from his home state of Georgia. And so I want to share from the book of what he shared on how faith can help to guide us and sustain us and help us to be able to achieve our goal as men or as the people of God, and how our faith can help us draw us closer to God and help us have better relationship with people around us. So like I said, for the next 4 weeks we'll be going through that. I'll be sharing my reflection from his book Faith, a Journey for All. And so for this week, we'll explore what is the meaning of faith. But to start, you must come to a clear understanding that no one makes it on their own or of their own effort. We all make it by having faith in God and faith in people that God brings around us. And now, to faith. So the first question I want to ask you, listener, is that someone should ask you, are you a person of faith? Will you say you're a person of faith? Because we have a tendency, people say, no, I'm not a person of faith. I know people are drawing away from the faith. But for you listening at this particular point, will you say you're a person of faith? For me, yes. Faith determines everything I do. Faith decides where I go to. Faith decides who I am in partnership with, or what I do with my life, because I know that it's faith in God and faith in His call over my life. It's what will make me achieve the purpose that God has called me into. And on the last day, He can tell me, well done, faithful and courageous son. And so like President Carter shared in his book, he said that more than ever, if there's any time that we as Christians need to really plunge into this world, into every aspect of this world, and for us to be able to inject our moral and ethical value of our Christian faith into the governing process, or even into everything that happens, it is now. We can see all what is happening in our society. People are beginning to lose moral and ethical values, and we begin to have people make decisions. And there's the cancel culture and the popular immoral art and culture influencing society. And for the next generation, sometimes they'll look at immoral things or even lack of ethical values in terms of making decisions. Provided they've made money, provided it's trending, they think it is right. And so it means that as people of faith, it is time for us to journey. It's time for us to bring our faith into every spaces that we'll find ourselves. And so a nation or family without morality will soon lose its influence. And that is just the truth. Once a nation, once a people, once a family do not have a clear moral compass, they're going to lose their influence in their spaces that God has called them into. And so like a lot of people say, times are changing, people are changing. I see a lot of believers say that in every day, times are changing, then we need to change. But no, that's not what God has called us to. We must welcome changing times. That is good. Change is inevitable. We're not saying change will not come, but we must cling to our principles that never change. Our principle of holiness, our principle of purity. So as a father, what are you showing to your children? What examples are you living out? So it's very important that we do that. It's very important that we understand even what faith means. And because faith itself it involves every aspect of our life. So faith is not just about religion. Faith is not about just your faith in God, or just the faith in the church, but it's your faith at work, your faith at home, how are there transcending what you're doing. And so faith transcends what we have learned, and faith is not from experience, or faith is not from our reasoning. And that's what the Bible says. According to the Bible, you know that in Hebrews, the Bible says faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. So faith is not experience. Faith is not what you have experienced in the past. No. Once you have faith in something that comes to pass, then you must have faith ahead again for what is coming. That experience is only just a process or a part of a package to spur you to have more faith. And so faith is about you having confidence that God is able to do it, that what God has said in the Bible is true, that you must live a holy life, you must pursue a life of value, you must, irrespective of what society is saying, you must stick to godly value. And so faith first is number one. Faith is total dependence on God. So the Bible tells about in Galatians that we do not, and even Ephesians 2, we do not receive our faith by ourselves. Faith, it's God Himself that called us. Everything that God has given us was given to us by Him. So we must believe in His existence, total dependent on Him. Even no matter what you have, if you become the richest man in the whole world, you must remember that it is God that gives you that wealth, and it's about Him. And so also faith is also humility. Another Bible said, no man should boast. We are all called. It's not by the work of our hand that we've received salvation. So you must remember that. And so faith is humility, and faith is also precious than gold. That the Bible says our faith is worth more than gold. Faith is more precious than gold. So you can see that no matter what you have on earth, your faith itself is what is critical and is important. Because in 1 Peter 1:7, and faith is action. So that's faith is confidence, and faith is believing what you do not see, and you see down there. No, faith is action. It means you must also take a step, you must begin to walk, and begin to share. People believe that everything the Bible tells you is true. And so you share from a point of confidence, you share from a point of clarity. And so faith is action. So for example, we all as men, we go into marriage. Marriage is faith. And so you must always remember that marriage is beyond sexual satisfaction. That marriage is that you're going into this saying that you're joining with your spouse to become conqueror, to conquer spaces for God, to conquer spaces for Him to be known, so that what you could not do alone as a single person, you've joined with somebody else and you're going to conquer a lot of spaces. So it's having faith in your spouse that yes, we can work together and achieve more territory for the King. And so it is important that you understand what faith is. And if you know this, you understand that faith is the foundation for joy, and faith is what will give you strength for challenging times. Because sometimes I say, okay, well, if I have faith, will I not have trouble? You will definitely have trouble. You definitely have things that will happen to you, but you must understand that faith is the foundation of joy. Faith gives joy. Faith gives strength for you to overcome, because you know that God will always be there for you. And so that's where we're going to stop today. Remember that we're going to be talking in the next 4 weeks. 1 week is going to be, it's gone now. So in the next 3 weeks, we'll be talking about faith, a journey for all. It's a journey that we all must go through individually. And hopefully by God's grace as men, that God has called in this generation, in this end time, to stand for Him, we must take our faith into every spaces. I know sometimes some people say, I can't take my faith into business, I can't take my faith into politics, I can't take, so you separate yourself, and some of you don't want to even go to do this, but we need to go into those spaces to bring the value of Christ into those spaces, to bring the value of the kingdom into those spaces. And so I trust that after the next 4 weeks, God will enable you, your faith will be gingered up again, your faith will spark again, even by the help of heaven, and we'll all go and conquer territory for God. So until we see again next week, have faith that God is able to do all what He has promised.